the gods. The gods. The god of light and or creation on the right, the god of darkness and or destruction on the left. What is good, YouTube? This is Vortex, and I'm back with another RWBY discussion video here. As always, guys, these discussion videos will be each weekend per each time that the newest and latest episode comes out, and throughout the week to come, as we dive into bits and pieces of certain things that stood out to me as far as each episode is concerned. And these will, like I said, be out right after Rooster Teeth pushes out each of the newest and latest episodes. With that, guys, we're diving right into it. I wanted to actually just kind of like show different images and stuff of each god, but I'm just gonna stick with this one just because it's a fair enough image of each god. For the most part, everybody's gonna find out what the gods fully look like throughout the internet and social media and stuff. But anyway, guys, I just want to talk about the gods. Here's pretty much my mindset on them. They created the planet Earth. They created dust, which dust turned into human beings, which turned into everything else. And in chapter 3, which is literally like the best chapter out of these these 3 episodes in volume 6, but at the same time, a lot of people feel like episode 1 is probably the best premiere. But episode 3, because we've gained all this information, like a lot to intake, a lot to to talk about, to discuss, to ponder and wonder. We've gotten a lot of answers, but we still have so many more questions. The gods really just proved some things, but then also they gave us a whole different perspective on human beings, and how humans within the world of RWBY can and even in reality can look at something spiritual or religious, and you just sit back and you still question why things had to be the way that they were, and the way that they currently are. The way that they were back when the gods were around, back when the humans were around then, in Ozma and Salem's time, compared to now when the gods are not there. Or some people may feel like the gods still have some sort of little bit of say in what goes on in the world of RWBY, even in the current volume that we're in right now. But the gods showed specific characteristics and traits, for me, this is my opinion, for me, that still prove to me that humans and even these gods are still similar in who they in who both humans and these gods are, and continues to be. The gods, they literally could be powerful, and they could be manipulative. The god of darkness and the god of light, they were manipulated by Salem. That's basically what happened. They were used by her. Because Salem didn't get what she wanted from the god of light, she went to the brother, the god of darkness, which I also, guys, I believe that the god of light is older than the god of darkness, because when Jen says the eldest or the elder god of light, that lets me know that the god of light came before the god of darkness. That's at least what I'm assuming. So I'm assuming that the god of light is older than the god of darkness, maybe just a little bit. But these gods were manipulated by Salem, but they still showed in chapter 3, from what we've seen, that they can be powerful. They can be very, very, like, they can be jealous. They can, they can be strifeful. They show traits of what we humans can be and are, and even in, like I said, even in morality. Because with what Salem did, how she shifted things to work in her favor, and tried to have the same type of shift in power with all these other magic users, these other humans, um, where she manipulated them to still try to do her bidding, to help her get and take down the gods, which didn't happen because the god of darkness, and again, basically the god of darkness eliminated the entire populace of the entire planet Earth and just left Salem by herself. That it's just crazy to me, guys, that Salem was able to touch a core part of the gods' minds, their hearts, their souls, or whatever, however they are. Because me, I still question, which we'll probably never get unless it's like in the manga, whenever whenever the manga officially, like, fully rolls out. But I I believe that, I well, not it's not I believe, I question that, would we ever get information on how the gods came to be, because they were here around, Ozma and Salem's time, and it makes me question now how long they were here. Because in my video talking about, in my discussion video on this chapter with just the human beings and them having magic, when you think about how the gods gifted the entire populace, literally every human being that was born from dust, that was currently born from dust, because there had to be babies even in around the time that, when the god of darkness destroyed the planet, well, destroyed the populace on the entire planet, that people who were born from dust, raised by their parents, automatically gained magic. Adults had magic. Literally everybody, all millions and billions of human beings had these, these powers. The gods were gracious, but they did, like the god of light said, they allowed there to be balance, where yes, the human beings had the abilities. They probably didn't have semblances at the time. They just had like magical abilities, but they didn't have, there were limits to this, that only the gods would have the most power, while the humans had some type of power, some type of magic, but they just didn't have everything. The gods held back because, like I said, the god of light was basically saying, and even, the god of darkness, he agreed with his brother, like, there had to be balance because of Salem's manipulation of both of them. There had to be balance. So, them holding back the ability for the creation to heal themselves, to cure sicknesses and diseases that killed, that caused people to die, natural causes, aka Ozma. They they were gracious, but were um, they were looking to be still reverenced by their creations, because their creations definitely did respect them. They, their creations knew who they were. They more than likely knew what they looked like. All of these things, and so the gods, you know, were who they were, but they still were taken advantage of. So there was a weakness in, even in their, their infinite awe and being, perfection, sort of perfection, as gods. Um, so, I just wonder, guys, who, where did these gods come from? Because they've had this agreement, this this contract basically where even though they didn't agree on everything, they, came to an agreement that there had to be balance on the earth. But Salem took advantage of that balance. They showed weakness that, for the most part, the god of light showed like sympathy. He showed empathy. He showed concern for his creation. If you all were really paying attention to his reactions to what his brother was doing, and even him pulling Ozma in between realms to have a sit down, well, basically like a sit down conversation in a sense, to tell him, basically saying like, I want you to fix this, Ozma, in the midst of him not really technically being fully able and capable of doing it, because basically Salem is her worst enemy and is really technically the only one that can fix this, because she's been charged with accepting the fact that through natural causes, through the way the balance of order is what these gods have created, within the realm of rules, that she has to understand that people who are born from dust also need to go back to being dust, and also basically passing away. That is the core final dot in this long story, guys. It's all centered around Salem, and for the most part, 99%, 95%, for the most part, centered around Salem. Ozma still has a role, and I believe that, I just believe that maybe RWBY or somebody's gonna also play a key role in helping Salem understand this information. So that's why I'm saying, guys, the gods still showed some key signs of humanistic anger, frustration, empathy, sympathy, of, who they were, well, technically who they are as gods, and how they viewed their creations. They showed these things. And, I'm just wondering and curious what's going to happen next when we move forward, and, when the gods do finally come back, when they're called back, when the relics are called, brought back together. What's going to happen when that comes around, when we get to it? It's probably not going to be in volume 6, maybe 7, 8, or 9. I'm really looking forward to maybe 6 more volumes, to be honest, guys, but that's just me. But these are my thoughts. What are yours? Let's have a chat in the comment section, guys. I need to know, what did you all think of the gods? I know a lot of people did not like the gods' attitudes. Me personally, I didn't either, but I just liked that there were these specific signs of humanistic traits that they ultimately gave to their creations, but they still showed it. At least they showed empathy. They showed concern. The god of destruction accepted the fact that his brother told him the truth, and he didn't like really finish attacking his brother. He just said, you know what, you're right. Let's rectify this issues. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will chat with you all in the next RWBY discussion video. I'll holla at y'all later, guys. Peace.